Hi guys, welcome back to Ball Sense. I am back with another video for the transfer breakdown this time. And today we're going to look at the deal that was announced, the big deal that was announced last week or a few days ago, shall I say. Um, it was Bayern Munich and they announced Lucas Hernandez from Atletico Madrid. It's the record fee for a defender. It's a fee of 68 million pounds, 80 million euros. It's his release clause that they've paid, and they have signed the French defender from Atletico Madrid. Lucas Hernandez, he is 23 years old. He comes from a footballing family. His father was a player as well from Marseille, and all in all, he is a solid player. He is grown up in Spain, and he's broke through the Atletico Madrid team, and he's now a regular in the Atletico Madrid team. And Atletico Madrid is a team that's known for their defense. So if you're able to break through in Atletico Madrid, and if you're able to make a regular spot for yourself in that team, you have to be seriously talented. Also, Lucas Hernandez, he has a brother, Theo Hernandez, who plays for Real Madrid. He's yet to break through fully in that team. He does play quite a bit, but not enough. Lucas Hernandez, people will remember him for his performances in the World Cup. He won the World Cup with France. He played every game in the World Cup. He's a left-sided player, left back, but can also play left center back. And all in all, Lucas Hernandez is a top quality player. From what I've seen of him, he is a really good player. He's not playing at the moment, interestingly, but that's because he has an injury. It's a serious knee injury, as he has ruptured a ligament in the knee. So he's out for now. And interestingly, that did show up in the medical, and Bayern are aware of it. And usually knee injuries involving ligaments and cartilages are pretty serious, and clubs don't usually take much of a risk when they sign players. But this time, I think Bayern Munich have ignored that, and the doctor said that he will be ready in the beginning of the 2019-20 season. So for the rest of the season, he'll be out, and he will play no part for Atletico Madrid in the remainder of the season. We'll get into detail about that in a little bit. Lucas Hernandez, again, Bayern Munich have needed reinforcements. If you look at their center backs, they've had Jerome Boateng, Matt Hummels in the center back position. As for the left back, they have David Alaba. So there are rumors flying around that he might leave. But if you ask me, I don't know why you would buy a left back when you have a player in the quality of David Alaba. Having said that, he could definitely play center back and maybe partner his French teammate Pavard, who they've confirmed in January that he is joining Bayern Munich next season. Pavard does play as a center back for his club Stuttgart, although for the French national team he was playing at right back in the World Cup. He can play at right back as well. And there is a possibility that they may partner him with Niklas Süle in center back, although they could also partner him with Pavard at center back. However, I do think personally that they will play Pavard at right back and stick with Niklas Süle. For me, to be honest with you, as much as I've seen Niklas Süle, I'm not really convinced by him. And I've watched quite a bit of him, and I've not really been wowed by him. I think he does have a lot of potential and could improve. However, that being said, it remains to be seen if he'll fulfill his potential. So far, he hasn't been as good as people say he is, or as good as he's proclaimed. So it remains to be seen. Now, this transfer is unique for some reasons. Why? Because first of all, it's a massive fee. It's the most expensive defender that Bayern Munich have signed. And what's interesting is that besides his knee injury, they've decided to splash the cash and agree that this amount is worth the player. Now, for me, I personally think it is and worth the amount, simply because one, he's 23 years old and he has a huge amount of experience. When you pay a transfer fee that's this big or this large, you're gonna need to tick off a few criteria. One is that the player is young enough and has at least 10 years ahead of him. Two, the player has the right experience for that age now. that's where it gets tricky because for the kind of experience that Lucas Hernandez possesses, there are not many players that have the same experience at that age, which is 23 or below. Of course, his teammates like Pavard, Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele are exceptions. But if you look at it on a more common scale, players usually of the ages of 20 to 23 or 18 to 23 do not really have that much of experience of winning leagues, winning titles, reaching Champions League finals, which he did with Atletico Madrid, um, as well as winning World Cups with the national team and national team success. So when you take all that into consideration, and you take into the fact that he has an injury, which by his age you expect him to recover fully, and you expect him to also recapture the form that he had, uh, it makes sense why Bayern Munich have paid 80 million euros for him, um, and that is more understandable because had he been a little older, maybe 27, 28, or 26 even, maybe they might have reconsidered and said, is it really worth taking a huge risk by paying this fee and therefore signing him. So as for Bayern Munich, it's going to be a big transfer window for them because they needed reinforcements. They're going to also look look in to get a few more players in because they have Robin and Ribery who's also coming towards the end of their careers, and they're going to need to step it up as they're in transition right now, and they're going to need to make sure that these players settle down quickly. They're accustomed to the tactics of the manager Niko Kovac. Also, if they do want to get a new manager, they have to do it quickly because the longer they don't have stability, the longer it'll take for them to get out of this transition period and maintain consistency. So therefore, it's a big time for Bayern Munich, and it's a tough period for Bayern Munich right now. They have to keep their heads and do things the right way. Personally, if you look at it, they've been winning the last 7 years in the league. I'm not quite sure they'll do it this year. So, having said that, they do want to be back in winning the league as well as the Champions League, which this time they've got knocked out at the round of 16, which is very very poor for a club the standard of Bayern Munich. So that's that for the transfer breakdown. Lucas Hernandez, he will be a Bayern player come 2019-20, the beginning of 2019-20, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. That's it from me. Follow Ball Sense on Instagram for the latest transfer news, transfer updates, as well as player scouting. Stay tuned for more videos. The league has commenced now. There's Champions League to look forward to. There will be a few scout watches as well. The Europa League is also very interesting this season. So stay tuned for more videos. If there are any more transfers that do break through, I will keep you up to date. Also, like I've said before, a quick point is that the reason Bayern have been able to confirm this transfer is because of the fact that they paid the release clause. Otherwise, transfers can be formally announced between now and the end of the season. It's only when the transfer window reopens can they announce the deals. But when you pay a release clause or you sign a player who's a free agent, you're enabled to do so. So thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for more videos, and obviously follow Ball Sense on Instagram. Stay up to date. And until next time, thank you.